This modern tiny house makes off-grid living look easy. Hidden among the trees, this modern tiny house feels like the kind of place you might discover by accident. From the outside, it looks simple, quiet, and beautifully connected to nature. But behind its compact walls is something more interesting. A home designed to provide comfort, independence, and a simpler way of living. Off-grid living simply means creating a lifestyle that depends less on traditional public utilities. Instead of relying completely on the electrical grid or municipal systems, a home can generate its own power, collect or manage its own water, and carefully control its energy use. In a tiny house, this idea becomes much more practical. One of the biggest advantages of a tiny house is that there is simply less space to power, heat, cool, and maintain. That makes independence more achievable. A smaller home can require fewer resources while still providing the essentials for everyday life. In this way, living smaller can actually create a greater sense of freedom. The exterior immediately creates a beautiful contrast. Dark modern walls give the house a clean architectural character, while the surrounding trees soften its appearance. Instead of competing with nature, the design seems to disappear into it. This is one of the strengths of modern tiny house design, using a simple structure to make the landscape feel like part of the home. One of the most important features of an off-grid home is often found above eye level. Solar panels quietly collect energy from the sun and convert it into electricity for everyday use. For a tiny house, this can be especially effective because the overall energy demand is relatively small compared with a conventional home. Solar power becomes much more practical when the home is designed around efficiency from the beginning. A tiny house doesn't need to support dozens of lights, large appliances, or in used rooms. With thoughtful energy management and battery storage, the system can provide power for the things that actually matter without creating unnecessary consumption. Outside, the deck becomes almost like another room. It provides space for morning coffee, outdoor meals, reading, or simply sitting quietly beneath the trees. This is an important lesson in tiny house design. You don't always need to build more indoor space. Sometimes, creating a comfortable outdoor area can accomplish the same thing. When the surrounding environment is beautiful, outdoor living can dramatically change how a small home feels. A deck, a comfortable chair, and a peaceful view can provide experiences that a larger living room cannot. Instead of expanding the building, this home expands the lifestyle, And that may be one of the smartest ways to live comfortably in a smaller footprint. Step through the door, and the atmosphere changes immediately. The dark exterior gives way to a warmer interior filled with natural textures and comfortable details. Rather than feeling cramped, the space feels intentional. Every element appears to have a purpose, showing how thoughtful design can make a small home feel surprisingly generous. Warm wood plays an important role throughout the interior. Its natural texture softens the modern architecture and creates a sense of comfort that feels familiar rather than overly polished. In a tiny home, materials matter. A carefully chosen combination of wood, light, and simple finishes can make a compact space feel welcoming, calm, and timeless. The kitchen may be compact, but it doesn't feel like an afterthought. With a practical countertop, sink, cooking area, refrigerator, and carefully planned storage, it has everything needed for everyday life. This is where good tiny house design really matters. The goal isn't to fit everything possible, but to include everything that is genuinely useful. Storage becomes especially important when every square foot matters. Instead of allowing belongings to take over the living space, this home makes smart use of cabinets, shelves, and hidden areas. Vertical storage can be particularly valuable in a tiny house because it uses space that might otherwise remain empty, helping the home stay organized and visually calm. A beautiful tiny house isn't necessarily a comfortable tiny house. Good design has to work during ordinary moments: cooking dinner, storing groceries, getting dressed, relaxing, and cleaning. This home demonstrates an important principle: every design decision should support real life. When functionality comes first, even a very small home can feel surprisingly easy to live in. The living room doesn't need to be large to become a favorite place in the house. A comfortable sofa, thoughtful lighting, and a clear view outside can create a relaxing atmosphere without requiring much space. Instead of filling the room with furniture, the design leaves enough breathing room to make the area feel open and inviting. Large windows create a powerful connection between the interior and the surrounding landscape. During the day, natural light reaches deep into the home, while the trees outside become part of the interior experience. This is one of the simplest ways to make a tiny house feel larger. Rather than looking at walls, your eyes are constantly drawn toward the world beyond them. Perhaps the most interesting idea behind this home is that using fewer resources doesn't necessarily mean sacrificing comfort. Smaller spaces can require less energy, fewer materials, and less maintenance. Yet with thoughtful planning, they can still provide warmth, privacy, and everything needed for daily life. It's a different definition of comfort, one based on efficiency rather than excess. Living in a tiny house naturally encourages a different relationship with possessions. When storage is limited, every item has to earn its place. For some people, this can become surprisingly freeing. Fewer belongings can mean less clutter, less cleaning, and fewer things competing for attention. Instead of constantly managing possessions, you can spend more time enjoying the space around you. Off-grid living doesn't have to mean giving up modern comfort. With solar power, efficient appliances, reliable batteries, thoughtful water systems, and good insulation, a small home can still feel remarkably modern. The difference is that every system has to be planned more carefully. Comfort remains possible, but it comes from intentional design rather than unlimited resources. Of course, there is another side to this lifestyle. Solar systems need monitoring, batteries eventually require attention, and water and waste systems need responsible management. Weather can also affect energy production. Off-grid living isn't completely effortless. The real appeal comes from accepting a little more responsibility in exchange for greater independence and a closer connection to how your home actually works. For people approaching retirement or simply looking for a quieter chapter of life, this kind of home can be especially appealing. A smaller footprint can mean fewer rooms to maintain, lower resource demands, and more time outdoors. Instead of spending years maintaining a large property, the focus can shift toward experiences, hobbies, nature, and enjoying everyday life. One of the quiet benefits of a smaller home is the amount of time it can give back. There are fewer rooms to clean, fewer surfaces to maintain, and fewer systems demanding constant attention. That doesn't mean maintenance disappears, but it can become more manageable. For many people, that extra time may be more valuable than extra square footage. The answer depends entirely on how you want to live. A tiny house may not be ideal for a large family or someone who needs extensive storage and workspace. But for a couple, a retiree, or someone seeking a simpler lifestyle, it can provide many of the comforts of a traditional home while dramatically reducing the amount of space required. Looking at the entire design, several ideas stand out. The solar system supports independence, the compact layout reduces wasted space, and the large windows bring nature indoors. The deck extends the living area, while warm wood keeps the interior comfortable. None of these ideas work alone. Together, they create a home designed around efficiency and everyday comfort. Perhaps the greatest luxury here isn't the architecture, the technology, or even the beautiful surroundings. It's the feeling of freedom that comes from needing less. Less space to maintain, less energy to consume, and fewer possessions to manage can create more room for something far more valuable: time, peace, and the freedom to decide how you actually want to spend your days. In the end, this tiny house isn't really about living with less. It's about being more intentional with what you keep, what you consume, and what you value. Off-grid living may require planning and responsibility, but it can also offer remarkable independence. And sometimes a smaller home can create space for a much bigger life. If you enjoyed this tour, share your favorite feature in the comments, and subscribe to Nestiora for more inspiring tiny homes and thoughtful living ideas.